They took forever to write a statement with me. They kept on asking me, oh, could it not be the father? Let's try the grandfather again, let's do that. And in all that time, as I'm writing that, I'm telling you, I stay in a certain place and these people are saying that they dropped off my child at that place. Are you not supposed to? This is a child. It's not a grown person. It's not a teenager that could have run away.
The woman in the video is Tiffany Nicole Meek. In this interview with ENCA, she is pleading, she's begging, and she's angry because her son Jayden-Lee, who is 11 years old, was killed and then he was dumped on the stairs next to their apartment. This happened in the safety of the apartment complex. The whole country stood by her. Her own neighbors were up in arms. They wanted to find the killers immediately. They wanted the police to turn every single one of their apartments upside down and find whoever did this to little Jayden-Lee. Almost 2 months later, Tiffany, Jayden-Lee's mom, was arrested for his murder. And then, in an uncomfortable twist, after the court denied her bail, someone in her community created an online petition to request that Tiffany be released on bail. By the time of this video, the petition had over 500 signatures. So while the law tries to fight for justice for little Jayden-Lee, 526 people want Tiffany to be released. This is the heartbreaking case of 11-year-old Jayden-Lee Meek. Welcome to True Crime Julia. My name is Julia. On this channel, we do true crime stories that have happened in South Africa. Today's story is still new. It broke in May, and yesterday, November 6, Tiffany appeared in court where the matter was postponed and transferred to the High Court for the start of trial. So this story is based on news reports, social media accounts, and what we know so far from what has been shared in court. So the report is based on allegations. Let us get into the story.
The state basically mentioned the following things in their statement: that the security guard was questioned, the boy that opened up the door of the vehicle, Jayden-Lee Meek, according to their statement, was indeed dropped at the complex. The security guard clearly states that he did open up the gate. His friend states that he did open up the door for him to get out, and he was seen going up to his apartment. His bag was found in the apartment with his school books. The report was that Jayden-Lee was missing and he never ever entered the premises. He never ever entered his home. The findings of the forensics also shows that a pillow in the flat had the blood of Jayden-Lee Meek on. It also states that the mattress in the flat, obviously they cannot take out an entire mattress. The mattress in the flat also had blood stains that was detected by the dog that has been trained to do all of this. Tiffany Lee Meek's statement does not add up to the time. She arrived at the flat. She left the flat at 12 o'clock the evening with her parents, saying that she's going to sleep at her mum's place so that she's close to the police station.
On the morning of May 14th, 2025, in the quiet suburb of Fleurhof in Johannesburg, the dream of an 11-year-old boy with stars in his eyes and a future in football was brutally cut short. His name is Jayden-Lee Meek, a talented young soccer player whose life was about to change forever. But that change was never meant to be this. The very day, his parents were scheduled to sign documents that will have sent him to Spain to pursue a professional soccer dream, they instead identified his lifeless body at a mortuary. Jayden-Lee's half-naked body was found in a passageway near his mother's apartment, just meters from the door of his apartment. The discovery left an entire community in shock and a family torn apart. His mother, 31-year-old Tiffany Nicole Meek, was soon arrested and charged with his murder, as well as obstructing justice, attempting to defeat the ends of justice, and crimen injuria. At first, Tiffany was seen as a woman desperate to find her missing son. She told the police that Jaden never returned home from school on May 13th. She said she waited, she panicked, and finally, she decided to report him missing that evening.
So you were not home at that moment?
No, I had spent the nights at my mother's place because my mother didn't want to leave me alone.
What do you make of police's handling of investigations?
It's been garbage. Sorry, mind my language. Jayden-Lee is an 11-year-old child. I went to the police station past 7 o'clock and they took forever to write a statement with me. They kept on asking me, oh, could it not be the father? Let's try the grandfather again, let's do that.
But just hours later, everything changed. The next morning, Jaden's bruised body was found at the bottom of the stairwell inside the same complex where Tiffany lived. And the question that no one could escape was simple and horrifying. How could this have happened so close to home? According to the National Prosecuting Authority, evidence suggested that Jaden had indeed come home that day, despite Tiffany's claims that he didn't. A security guard testified that he saw Jaden enter the complex and use the remote-controlled gate.
The security now says that she left at 12, but she returned on her own the next morning at 4 a.m. to the flat. She left the flat again at 5:30 a.m. She left the flat. When she returned, the security asked her, are you going to be here tomorrow morning to help me search all the vehicles traveling out of the flat? She indeed indicated yes. But when she left the next morning at 5:30 and the security said to her, you promised to help me search all the vehicles, she then said to him, no, she's rushing off to the police station.
Inside the apartment, investigators reportedly found blood-stained clothing and other items that contradicted Tiffany's version of events. It was enough for prosecutors to charge her with murder. In court, Tiffany Meek maintained her innocence. She told the judge that she didn't kill her son. She said she will attend every court appearance, and she said, I want to stand trial to clear my name. She claimed that she was being framed, insisting that she was the one that was pushing the police for answers. Her lawyer, Norvan Naidu, said there were inconsistencies in the investigation, suggesting that Tiffany may have been a scapegoat in a botched case. But the investigating officer, Sergeant Nceba Diko, dismissed that entirely, saying he sees no reason why anyone would want to frame Tiffany. Forensic reports revealed a chilling picture. Jaden had died from a blunt force trauma. He suffered multiple injuries, a deep gash on his forehead, a wound on his chin, bruises on his neck and arms, and traces of blood on his lips. According to investigators, Jaden didn't even have defensive marks, meaning the little boy wasn't even fighting when his life was taken from him. The brutality of the attack sent shockwaves across South Africa.
Look, again, this is a demonstration today. What makes it beautiful is that the people's power has indeed risen above the system's power, because we are at a time in South Africa where SAPS, National Prosecuting Authority, there's a big spotlight on corruption in government. We are happy that there's no third element that has come into play and undermine the people's power. When the people in our communities, in our country, speak against a certain issue, no one man, regardless of how educated you are, can your voice be louder than the people's voice. So I'm happy that the first step has been taken, where we have calm in our communities and people are happy with how the case is moving, with bail being denied. But again, we must respect the law and we must respect the outcome in the processes, for as long as the processes are not influenced by corruption and third elements and third parties, etc. So we then saying that to all our people in South Africa, can we please respect the outcome and the processes of the law? Bail is neither here or there. I'm telling you straight. I've been in a position where this woman is in now. Bail is neither here or there. What's important is the outcome and the judgment of this case, because tomorrow we'll have a judgment or a process that is influenced and we'll all have a problem.
Outside the courtroom, emotions ran high. Jaden's uncle, Owen Meek, spoke during a TikTok live hosted by activist Althea Clough, expressing the heartbreak. He said the day his parents were supposed to go sign the documents, they went to identify his body. How crushing is that? He could have looked after his mom and the entire family. Owen's pain was visible, torn between grief and disbelief. He added that he doesn't hate Tiffany. He believes Tiffany loved Jaden, but his gut says she didn't act alone. As the community mourned, questions deepened. Why were there so many delays in planning Jaden's funeral? Why did Tiffany reportedly refuse to allow Jaden's father access to his body? So just to backtrack a bit, Tiffany was a single mother. She had separated from Jayden-Lee's father, and Jayden-Lee was the only child. She says she has an older child, but the child passed on 2 days after she gave birth to him. So it soon became clear that the family was divided, even in the burial of Jaden. Then a new twist emerged. An online petition has surfaced demanding Tiffany's release on bail. The petition argued that her detention violated her constitutional rights and that the investigation was flawed. It quickly gathered over 500 signatures, which claims that Tiffany was being punished before trial, denied the chance to grieve, and suffering emotional harm while in custody. But the court is not convinced. Magistrate Annalene Africa denied her bail, citing serious inconsistencies and the severity of the charges.
She doesn't feel this is the end of the road for her. We still have the option of bringing a bail application on new facts, or alternatively taking the magistrate's decision on appeal. So Tiffany wants to leave no stone unturned. She insists that I escalate the matter and have a different unit investigate further. She still believes the killer is out there. She wants justice for Jaden and justice, obviously, for her family.
Months later, Tiffany returned to court yesterday on 6 November, this time revealing that she had been stabbed in prison by another inmate. Her lawyer said she had received medical attention and that the attack was under investigation. Meanwhile, her case has now been moved to the Gauteng High Court, where she will face a pre-trial hearing on November 20th. With no bail and mounting legal struggles, Tiffany's fight for freedom and her claim of innocence continues. For the Meek family, every hearing, every headline is a painful reminder of what they've lost. A young boy full of talent and promise, who should have been chasing a soccer dream in Spain, but is now gone. Instead, his name is tied to one of the most heartbreaking and complex family tragedies South Africa has ever seen. His uncle Owen Meek put it best when he said, "They just want justice for Jaden." What are your thoughts on this story? What do you think happened on that day? Please let me know what your thoughts are, and I will see you on the next one.